G'day. In a recent video I was turning some timber and I spoke about it not being something I do very often. This is the other job that I did in timber. Started when a young lady joined the Hercus Facebook page looking for someone to manufacture some moulds for feeder teats for wildlife babies at the wildlife refuge that she was working at. And she sent me lots of photos with teats with rulers beside them, and we spent some time working out what we needed. In the end I was able to produce a drawing like this, and I sent it off, and the young lady sent it back with a teat in place and gave me an idea of a few other things that might be worthwhile doing. So we made some changes and we ended up producing this shape. Now this radius right on the nose, I did that before thinning it down because I didn't think I'd have much chance of turning that radius once I'd thinned the material down to almost nothing there. That dint in the body is so that the latex forms a ridge so that it will hold onto the bottle that they use to hold the formula that they feed to these baby animals. Is the other end. It needs drilling so the dowel can be glued in place, which gives it a handle, and that handle is used while they're both dipping the mould into the latex and gives them something to stand it up by so that the latex can dry off. So here we are machining the radius on the end to start with. And as I've said, this is only second job I've done turning timber, and I really don't know what you're supposed to do with timber. I'm used to aluminium, steel and brass, but timber's a bit of a rarity for me. Turns easily enough. That's a aluminium insert, nice and sharp. I don't know whether you can hear it in the background, but there's a singing noise going on as the tool is advancing along the part. It was a chatter, I guess, which I couldn't do much about because the thing just needed to stick out so far. There's an indent for the ridge to make the, well, it's a ridge on the latex teat to hold it on the bottle. Then we send a parting tool in, but not all the way, because I needed to run some emery over that to try and get rid of some of that furriness. Yes, it is furry. Tried just using some 320 grit emery paper, which did a reasonable job of removing all the furriness. Then I went for some too fine wet and dry, which did nothing. It was just too fine. But as I said, I don't know anything about working with wood. It's not something I do much of. But as it says in the text there, next time I used 600 wet and dry and it was a bit more effective. Let's face it, when you feel 1600 grit, there's nothing there almost. But it's not a bad looking part. Then I just used a junior hacksaw to get through the last of the material there. This is the other end. Had to change collets because the first one was a 16, this is a 15. because I turned some material off. We've just got to drill the hole for the handle to go into. Didn't need to move the turret, there was plenty of clearance. So I was able to just use the two tools without moving the turret. Pushed it well in so that the tool can come up and give me the distance out that the part needs to come out of the collet. It's very quick using the collet closer. You just push a handle and the collet closes and away you go. I think that's just an 8mm drill, not sure. Can't remember. I think it might have said so in the text earlier. That's what the finished item looked like. The next picture is one with a handle. And as it says, they use that for not only dipping it into the latex or the silicone, whichever they're using, but it gives it something to stand up while the rubber dries. And if anybody complains that these next two, this photo and the next one, are in the wrong orientation, they are, because I had to turn it 90 degrees to get it to fit the video format. They were 90 degrees around, so if that's the way they should be fed, that's the way they were fed. Alright, thank you for watching.